So we have few properties of Hilbert spaces. First one basically says that the inner product space, it is linear in the first variable. Moreover, the inner product can be distributed over the first and second variable. The constant can come out and the inner product of x and y, that will be distributed, and same way over here inner product of y and z will be distributed. Second property is direct consequence of the definition of inner product space, as we have already studied that inner product spaces are conjugate linear in the second variable. So same thing, these inner product will be distributed over both the variables, and the constant beta, it will come out as a conjugate, same way over here. And third property is same, just with the negative sign. And the fourth property, basically it is again a consequence of definition of inner product space, which says that inner product of a non-zero number with 0 will always come out to be 0. So moving on to Schwarz inequality, which states that if x and y are two vectors in Hilbert space, then modulus of the inner product of x and y will always be less than or equal to norm of x into norm of y. So first of all, we are assuming that y is 0. So when y is 0, then norm of y will be automatically 0. And if we look at left hand side, then inner product of x comma y, since y is 0, using this fourth property, it will also become 0, and which implies that mod of x comma y will become 0, and hence the case of equality is settled. So both sides are equal in this case. So for the next case, we are considering a scalar lambda in such a way that the inner product of x plus lambda y with x plus lambda y only, that is greater than or equal to 0, because inner product of a number with itself, it is basically the square of the norm, and we know norm is just a length of vector, and it always remain positive in case our number is non-zero. So this is a case when we are considering y to be non-zero. So now if we expand this inner product using the above four properties, I can write it in expanded form, like inner product of x with itself. Then since we have studied that inner product is conjugate linear in the second variable, so when I'll take inner product of this lambda with x, so this is only the first variable, so it will come as lambda only. But when we'll take the inner product of this x with this lambda y, then that will come out as a conjugate, since it is coming from the second variable. And in the last case, now the lambda will come from the first variable as well as from the second variable, so we'll be obtaining lambda into lambda bar, inner product of y with itself, it is positive. So this is basically norm of x here, and this is basically, okay, we'll write it as such, lambda y comma x plus lambda bar x comma y plus lambda. Okay, now we know that for a complex number z, z into z conjugate is basically mod of z square. So using this concept, we can write this lambda into lambda bar as mod of lambda square, and further inner product of y with itself is norm of y square. Okay, so we have already considered in this case that y is non-zero. So let us substitute lambda as inner product of x comma y upon norm of y square. So let us see how things will change with this substitution. So this will with the negative sign, sorry. So this will become minus x comma y upon norm of y square into inner product of y comma x. Now we know from our information from inner product space that inner product of y comma x can be written as x comma y conjugate, and then substituting this value of lambda bar, it will become x comma y bar upon norm of y square into x comma y inner product plus uh, when we'll take mod of lambda square, so that will be basically mod of inner product of x comma y square upon norm of y raised to power 4, so into norm of y square over here. So this norm of y square would go, and we'll be left with norm of y square in the denominator. So further uh, we using this concept of complex numbers, we can write this as mod of x comma inner product of x and y square upon norm of y square minus mod of x comma y square upon norm of y square, and this thing is uh, plus norm of x comma y square upon norm of y square is greater than or equal to 0. So two of the terms will go, and we'll be left with x comma norm of x square. I'm taking this term on the other side is greater than mod of inner product of x and y upon norm of y square. So now you can take norm of y square on the other side. So the Schwarz inequality will be settled in this case.